everyone, welcome to Nerdball Podcast episode 129, the final episode of 2020, part 2, because we'd already done this, but me and Matt are going to go over it again. If you're listening to this when it's meant to come out, hopefully it does come out, because the way my luck's going, it just keeps fucking up. Merry Christmas, we hope you all had a lovely time. Matt's probably drunk himself into a coma. Connor's probably... played so much Xbox his eyes have fallen out, and I'm probably just still here, still doing something. Obviously tier 4, so no mixing, unfortunately, for us lot. And if you're in tier 3 or below, you lucky bastards. What we're going to do is talk about our best and worst things that we've seen this year. Not that there was a lot, because obviously we were inside for most of it. If it seems like I'm rushing over this thing, it's because we've done a whole in-depth thing on this the last time we recorded it, but the audio failed. So we're kind of just a bit tired of life, and plus Christmas in retail is shite, Matthew.
Yeah, it sucks. I hate it. It's terrible. Not a fan.
Yesterday was I think my favourite day, because that's when, like, Monday, I thought it was going to start from then and then just be shit until Christmas Eve. But it was okay the Monday, I think, wasn't it? It wasn't like too bad. And then yesterday was horrible.
I think last Sunday was worse than Monday.
Yeah, but yesterday was a shit show. It was, like we said, it was like being Jon Snow in Battle of the Bastards, and like they're being penciled in by Ramsay Bolton. But the Knights of the Vale don't come. That's what it's like.
No?
I think that was a fair assumption.
I think I turned around and said I was jealous of Ramsay Bolton, you know.
Getting chewed his face off by dogs. Oh, we watched, while Lara was finishing wrapping the last of her presents, we watched the final episode of season 5.
Yeah.
And then when Jon Snow got shanked, she was like, is that real? I was like, well, yeah. Like, but is he dead?
No,
I was like,
TV show.
I was like, yeah, it's acting. Like, is he dead? I was like, well, look at him. He is dead right now. Yeah. Like, does he come back? I was like, I'm not going to tell you whether he does or doesn't. And obviously, we finished episode 2 of season 6, and obviously he gets resurrected by Witch Tits.
Witch Tits.
And
you just said no, he doesn't come back.
Well, no, because my whole thing with this is I haven't told her one way or the other any of my opinions about it. Like, when we started it, the only thing I said was, like, she asked me what my favourite seasons are, because her one changes, like, depending, like, normally the season she's in, she likes quite a lot while she's sussing it out. And then once it ends, she'll sort of be like, yeah, it was good, it wasn't as good as so and so, or yeah, that was good, that was better than whatever season. I think her favourite season at the minute is probably season 5 or 4. And the only thing I've said is, like, I think personally 5 and 6 is the peak of the show, and 6 is my favourite season. And I'm not gonna, because I don't want to slag it off and say how shit I think the ending is, because I don't want to sort of influence her opinion, like the same thing that you said you did with Liv. Like, you just let her draw her own conclusion of it.
Just let her watch it. Crack on with it.
Because if some shows, obviously, or movies, you'll be like, oh, I fucking really love this, and that can sort of like influence someone else's thing of it, can't it? So yeah. I've tried to be unbiased, because mainly because I want to see the look in her eyes if there is disappointment there when Jon ends up back where he fucking started. You know, all that character development out the fucking window. Kit Harington deserved better.
And everyone on that show deserved better, not just Kit.
I think he got shafted the most.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
He was, yeah. But anyway, that's Game of Thrones. That didn't happen this year, because that ended. Thank fuck.
Yeah.
You want to talk about some stuff that you watched this year? We'll just back and forth it a bit, like we did last time, but a bit shorter, because we've both got places to be, and I think we're just done with this for this year.
I mean, the viewers are probably bored of just seeing me. They're probably, where's Connor?
Yeah, exactly. Well, they can't see you, they can just hear you.
That's probably enough.
Possibly. fucking enough for me.
Um,
Joking. I'm so glad you helped me out because it was, last minute. It is the 23rd as we record this. I can't wait to finish work tomorrow, and I like. Are you at the point now where like giving presents is much more fun than receiving them?
yeah.
Let's just fucking talk about Christmas because we've already it's already happened for you lot, but fuck it hasn't for us. I've always been excited with Christmas because like the way like my mum always made a big thing out of it, and like that excitement, despite the fact of Santa not being real, it's still there like every year because I just think it's like a time for family, friends. Like it's going to mean even more next year when hopefully we can all be with the ones we love. But I just like making people happy. It's quite nice to sort of give someone something like that they might not buy for themselves or they might expect or is like genuinely thoughtful.
Like, the thing is, Liv and me differ in the way like we do presents. She loves a budget. Like she loves the budget. But then she likes so many things, and I just I'm like, yeah, I'll buy it because I know it's gonna make you happy, and I know that you want it. It's
quite nice just to be like, you have this.
I also try to do jokey presents in there.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you've got it. Like,
why not? I just think it's nice. Like, as much as it's nice getting free stuff, it's nice to just sort of be a bit like, fuck it, get what you want. Because I think I'm relatively easy to buy for because then I say it's hard because everything I want I buy myself. So unless I'm sort of like I'll wait out for that. Like there's a few things I always like be standard on. I like getting like toiletries and shit like that, pajamas, my pants and socks because that fucking does me for the year. So I love that. Yeah, like other stuff. Whereas I like sort of being like, if you want it, I'll buy it for you. Not just sort of like, if you give me a few options, I'll probably buy all of them and then some.
Yeah, that's kind of why.
It's just hard for me to get the. Is it hard for you to get the first idea? Because that's what I do.
No.
Because I like if she tells me a couple of things, like she told me a few, and I think out of those things I've got like one, and the rest I've sort of then like one thing will trigger like, well, if I get that and then that and that. So yeah.
Like this year has been a lot easier than last year, obviously. I've been with her longer, but also the fact that throughout the year there's been stuff she's seen and gone, oh, I would love to have that, and I've just kept and on note of it.
Well, fucking better than me, mate. I'm just sort of like, tell me what you want.
But no, I think Liv will agree with me on this. Incredibly difficult, because, like as you said, if I want something, I'll just buy it.
So then, everything she wants to get, you've already probably bought yourself.
Yeah, or I'm planning to buy myself or something like that. So she hates buying for me, I think. But I don't sure we'll admit that, but yeah.
I'm sure she's not ashamed to say that. But it's going to be nice because I think after everything this year, we need a bit of good in our lives because it's been shit. Yeah, should we talk about some stuff that we watched that we enjoyed? Do you want to go first?
I'll let you go first. You can take the reins because you didn't really take the reins in the last episode, so.
It's true. I am currently also playing the event on Always Sunny.
Me too.
Already won the year, but my favourite thing that I watched, I'll do movie first.
Yep.
And then all back and forth, and then I'll come back with TV show after you've done your movie. My favourite. I'll do one that you may not talk about much. Because I feel like the other one I want to talk about, you want to say something about. Because I've got my favourite movie is the Jojo Rabbit in 1917.
Oh yeah, I remember you saying.
So I'll probably go with Jojo. Because I have a feeling that there's a bit more 1917 coming from you later on.
Nope.
There is fuck all to choose from. Let's be real. Like for a minute, like not a lot came out at the beginning of the year. It was sort of like, yeah, we could, like you'll see now episode from the first one of this year. It was like we're looking forward to this, this, and this, and half or if not more, I'd say, of those things that we talked about didn't happen. But something did happen about January, February. I think it was early for the US, maybe tail end of last year. It was Jojo Rabbit from Taika Waititi adaptation of the book's not called that, it's something else. About this child called Jojo who has a sort of imaginative manifestation of Hitler as a best friend, because it's almost like through the eyes of children, like how did they see like this war and what was happening to them, and like living during this time. I forget the name of the kid that plays Jojo. Scarlett Johansson's in it. Taika Waititi plays the imaginary Hitler. Sam Rockwell is amazing in it. As is he technically an ashamed like sort of general? Like he gets thrown into doing he was good, and then the kid blows himself up with a grenade, and then he ends up teaching at summer camp or something, doesn't he? If I remember that film correctly, which I don't own yet, which is tragic. It's well written, well directed. It's a lot of fun. It's not something that you'd maybe go for or expect in the current climate, but I think it's handled with grace. It's fun. It takes the piss out of itself, and everyone in it, I think, is having a good time. No matter, it's essentially taking the piss out of the Nazis, really, and that's a good thing. True. And I think, my favourite film of the year. I can't really think of anything else off the top of my head, because everything we had was sort of like either really good or sort of middling, I think. And I think we'd have had everything that had come out this year. I think we'd have like so much more stuff in it, or maybe experiences that we only had by streaming it at home maybe would have been enhanced because we've seen it in the theatre and been like, this is a lot better. But yes, what's your favourite film of the year, Squire?
Still gonna go with 1917, to be honest. Like, I obviously for us, because we're scummy British people, it came out in 2020. Obviously for the US, they got it earlier, but we got it in January.
Was it like New Year's Day or the 2nd or something like that?
I think it might have been the 2nd, something like that. But it counts. It counts as 2020. I'm counting it, and it's not a great deal to choose from. So,
and if you don't like the rules, make your own podcast and then make up your rules.
Yeah.
Well, we've been doing well on the views, but somehow we're at 5 still for the one on Sunday. Don't know what's
it's because it's just me and you, mate. People don't like it.
It's because it's just Christmas. Like, maybe it is. Maybe Connor's the draw.
Yeah, they don't actually like either one of us. It's just Connor.
But I'm the only one that's been in all of them. Yeah, we do. Connor was meant to obviously record this today, but Matt's jumped in and helped me because he was called into work like a surgeon coming to save the world, but in retail. So he will be back.
2 to 6 or where? Okay, boss.
Okay. Carry on with your thing, man, because it's
1917. I mean, if you haven't watched it, like you've had the whole year to watch it, and to be honest, there's been nothing else to watch, so you should have.
Apart from The Boys, you will vouch for that.
Apart from The Boys, but I will get on to that later. But no, 1917 is brilliant. It's shot so beautifully. It's brilliant. It's the amount of long shots and the amount of effective long shots. I think that's what I'm going to go with.
Yeah, you go for it, man. It's your podcast.
Actually, yeah. Just like every single long shot they did was so beautiful. It just, like, it was obviously this journey, travelling across, trying to deliver a letter. And
simple,
it just makes you, it's simple, but it makes you feel like you're actually in that situation. And it's just so people to watch. And I love a good war film.
Mm.
I do. I think most people would say they love a good war film. But no, I think it's one of the best war films, let alone one of the best films that I've seen this year. I think it's up there as one of the best war films, just
In general.
pure. It's like oversimplified simplicity
Mm-hmm.
in the sense that everything they did in it was simple, but the way they went about it, like with all the long shots, the pacing, the sound, the sets, it wasn't,
Mm.
but it made it feel simple in a way, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it was like used everything effectively. Sort of
Yeah.
like, there was never too much of anything. You didn't, so like the benefit of it all being made to look like one shot was that it doesn't waste anything that it has on screen. Everything is there for a reason. Like it's either to balance out with the action or the tone of what we've just seen. Like so, if you're going from a night shot into when it transitions through to the day, like the lighting in it is amazing, and it's all sort of not a moment wasted on screen. I think is what you'll have a
Yeah.
lot of people say. Like for all the footage in it, I don't think there's anything that you can really cut in it. I think it's cut down to as much as it needs to.
I mean, I'm sure people pickier than us would say that this 2 second clip doesn't need to be in the film, but Sodom, they're not the ones speaking. We are.
You're the captain now, so it's I can see why that's your choice because I loved it when I saw it. I saw it, I think 3 times. Back when you could go to the cinema when they was open.
You remember those things?
Oh mate, back in the day. But
it was like a couple of months ago. You know, when we were allowed to go out and socialise.
Allowed to see everyone.
Like me and Liv, we met a mate for a meal. We walked past the cinema, and we were just like, it looked so sad, so dead, so empty. And it was just like that is a depressing sight.
Do you think they'll come back?
I would feel very, very upset if they didn't.
I think they lose too much if cinemas go completely.
Yeah. I mean, you have to have cinemas, so like a staple of film.
Like you can't there's nothing greater than seeing a film on the big screen that you've been waiting all year for, or sometimes 2 years for if there's a pandemic in the middle of it. But yeah, hopefully we'll be back. We'll be back in the cinema for Black Widow. That's the aim. Don't know why I'm saying it. I don't fucking work in the film industry yet. I fucking hope I do one day. But yeah, so that's a good pick for your film. TV show for me. I'm not going to spoil the last episode for you because I know that you've only just recently actually started proper going for The Mandalorian because I assume you're just killing time until Christmas Day when you're going to watch season 2 of Inside the Disney Studio Making of Mandalorian season 2.
Oh, 100%. I'm going to start watching that as soon as it comes out.
Yeah, everyone's opening their presents and you're just watching that.
Yeah, I'll be back. Sorry, guys. I'll get back to you in a bit. Got an episode to finish.
Plugging this in because we're running low. I'll just have me. Your Mac will die. Mandalorian season 2 has been, I think, possibly the best piece of television I've watched in the last couple of years. Like in terms of just the run of episodes, the production quality. Like we know the show's well made, well funded. The writers are amazing, the directors are amazing. Like watch Inside the Making of the Mandalorian on Disney Plus because that is a really good series if you're into film and production and want to get into that kind of field because that is just fucking inspiring.
Oh, it's brilliant.
Like the first season was great. Like it was critical acclaim, wasn't it? Like everyone was ranting and raving about it, and it was like, yeah, like it's good. Like it is the best thing to come out of Star Wars since Disney bought it. And there's always been the thing of you can't appeal to new Star Wars fans while appealing to the old Star Wars fans. But I think Mandalorian does it on both fronts because we didn't get anything really in season 1 that was significantly referencing anything else apart from Baby Yoda. Was the connection was, we know what that is. That's like Yoda. Like that was our only sort of real callback to any of the films, like prequel, original, or sequel. But they went full ham in season 2. There's so many returning things. We got Bo-Katan, from Clone Wars, being played by the actress who voices her. We had Rosario Dawson play Ahsoka in live action. We finally got to see that character after 10, 12 years? 2008 Clone Wars. Sorry, the film.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's fucking sad.
I'm gonna Google that, bro. Check.
We got what else? We got Boba Fett, played by Tamara Morrison. That was amazing. And the best surprise they saved for episode 8, for the final episode of season 2, while simultaneously setting up the Book of Boba Fett, which is coming out in next year, but is separate from Mandalorian season 3. Like, it's building its own sort of mini universe, which I think is great, especially if so you're gonna have Book of Boba Fett, Ahsoka, and what's the other one? Is set in the timeline of the Mandalorian. New Rangers of the New Republic. That's the one. They're all set in the same thing. Aaron still produced, I found out, by Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, so it's all going to be their overseen thing. And maybe we got chances of intersecting stories and building towards a big bad. That'd be really nice, because other shows are sort of in different time periods, like between original and sequel and prequel and original and shit like that. Jon Favreau is, I think, just a big fucking nerd, and he loves it, and he loves, like, it's full of references that he would appreciate, because he knows fans like him exist. So I'm just trying to fucking move it up a bit. I just, like, there's endless possibilities where this show could go, and I fucking loved every second. I wish it was on physical media, because I just want to own it and go frame by frame for all of this stuff, because it's great. And I really, really hope that it continues for years and years to come. It's got the potential to run forever, really.
And I guess the season 7 and 8, it just goes downhill because the showrunners got bored.
No.
We've seen the story before.
No, not everyone is David Benioff and DB Wise. Thank fuck. Yeah, I won't spoil I know that a lot of people said, if you haven't seen Mandalorian season 2 finale, stay away from the internet and then watch it, because someone will spoil it for you. It's been over a week and a bit since by the time you watch this. It's going to be hard to avoid spoilers, so I hope, Matt, you get to episode 8 of season 2 without anyone spoiling it for you. I'm not going to say anything. I just want to see your reaction after you've watched it, because I think it's going to nearly brought me to tears. So
Okay.
I can't wait to hear what you think of it.
So I just turn around and go, it sucks.
Oh, you probably will. Either that or you'll be speechless, because it's... Oh, God, man. I can't say. I don't want to say. I don't want to ruin it for you. You, of all people, don't need it ruined for you.
Okay.
But fucking watch it, man. Continue watching it. It's great. It's the best thing, and it's not even on proper TV. I think it's the best streaming show, hands down, across any platform. No original, I think, has got close to it this year. Like, nothing from Amazon or Netflix, I think, has even touched the fucking coattails of Mandalorian.
I mean, I'd assume the boys did, shortly, right?
I think, alright, maybe, but in different ways, because obviously they're very different fucking audiences. Do you want to talk about the boys?
Well, yeah.
Go for it, man. Hit me with
I was going to
the
say the boys to last. Do Umbrella Academy first.
Go for it, man. Do whatever you want. You free flow it.
Mainly because I just want to end on a lovely little
Lovely little note.
Yeah. So we'll go to Umbrella Academy first.
Yes, that was another good show. Yep.
Season 2. I know Devlin doesn't like it.
Who?
Wow. Devlin. He doesn't like Umbrella Academy. I don't understand why.
Some shows he it either takes a while to get into. Like, it has to grab. I get it. Like, it has to grab you. You don't want it to be like, oh, it gets good in season 3. It's like, I don't want to fucking wait that long. But
Yeah,
I think also with things like that, it has to like sometimes he'll revisit it later, and then it'll actually click with him and he'll be like, fucking love what they're doing with this.
that slow turning clog in his head will finally tick over, and he'll be like, "Ah, I understand it now."
Fucking leave him alone. But obviously, I like it, you like it, Essa likes it. So us three are unanimous on this is a good show.
Yes.
Take it away. Take it away, Ernie.
Ernie! No, as I said before, but obviously they won't know I said it before, I would say it's on par with season 1. I don't think either one was better or worse than one another.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it was just really good. It continues obviously from the storyline and get more and more in depth. They obviously went back in time, thanks to 5. Got trapped, had to regroup, had to stop the apocalypse again. Because why not? And it just likes throwing shit at the wall, really. It's brilliant. And I cannot wait for season 3.
Mm-hmm.
Also because of the finale, which I don't feel bad spoiling it at the moment because
it's been long enough.
It's been long enough, and obviously,
if you can't, you've watched it by now.
Yeah, they've gone back to their own time. Only this time, something's a little bit changed because it's instead of the Umbrella Academy, it's Sparrow Academy. Because when they went back in time, they actually met their dad. Well, dad with the little air quote marks, and they hid 43 sparrows throughout the show, which I thought that was cool. Found them all because I'm a sad little child.
I can confirm this is true. That's why you started this shit.
Yeah, I just wanted to go back and watch it anyway, so I might as well pay attention for them. And I noticed a few of them the first time round, and then it clicked in my slow little turning clog in my brain when it hit the finale, and I was like, I get you now. But biggest thing from it, Ben's alive. Ben's going to be alive in season 3.
Yeah.
And
you think that, or you know that?
Well, Ben is alive, but it's not. Obviously, it's a different Ben. If you know, so like the thing is, Ben sacrificed himself in the afterlife form. So just need more Ben and more Klaus and more Clive, and I'll be happy.
Klaus is definitely my favourite character because Robert Sheehan is a fucking amazing actor.
A fantastic actor. Highly underrated.
If you only know him as Nathan from Misfits, firstly, yes, correct. But go check out his other stuff, man, because he is, I think, one of the most versatile actors working at the minute in terms of, I honestly think he just picks something at random what he does next. It never sort of, I know there's a thing of like actors will want to do completely different things, but he is just sort of like so chill about everything. Always in interviews, he's like, he's just happy with what he does, and he's just sort of like, yeah, I'll do this, I'll do that. Like he never really seems like he takes himself too seriously, which I think really comes across on the screen because Klaus doesn't give a fuck about anything. Like being the Messiah to some people. Like any other character you think, what the fuck, but with him it just, you can see it, and you can see why the people following him see it. It's like, oh, yeah.
Because why would you not want to go back in time and start a cult?
Yeah, that weird Jesus vibe.
No, but like, hopefully, right, he doesn't do a Misfits and leave after season 2. Hopefully.
But season 3 wasn't bad of Misfits. It's probably the least worst post-Nathan.
Yeah.
Mainly because Joe Gilgun is fucking amazing.
Season 4 was
shite. Season 4's a big pile of shite. 4, 5, 3, 1, 2.
No, I would say 4 and 5 were both equally as shite as each other.
But 5 is slightly better because by that point all the original characters are killed off, so they're not just trying to keep like, look, we still got some people. We're trying to keep this shit alive.
Yeah, and then they realise, oh shit, that's what killed our show because now nobody's watching it.
And then we're definitely going to hopefully do that movie where the original 5 and the new like that. I have a feeling something like that will happen. If not a movie, a reunion kind of thing, or a Gavin and Stacey, let's get back together after fucking 10 years and do it again.
I love that.
Which I'd love, especially with fucking Iwan, like after being Ramsay Bolton.
Oh yeah.
Go back to lovable fucking Simon.
Ramsay Bolton, Mouse meeting.
Do you love me, Reek? Yes, my lord. Why don't you fuck off? Tom Hopper's good in Umbrella Academy because I know him mainly from the latter seasons of Merlin. He was in that. That was the first sort of time I was aware of him. I would say it was like, what, 2011, 2012? In 2010 he came into it. Like, yeah, 2010 to like 2012 he was in that. It was like, oh, this guy should be in more things. And he's fucking amazing in Umbrella Academy.
Like, Tom Hopper's a really good actor. Like, have you ever watched Black Sails?
Yes.
Yes.
Pretty decent. I've not watched all of that. I've watched a few of them. That's like, he is like, these people, like, you look at them and think, like, on paper, would they work as a fucking ensemble? And they just smash everything. You can, like, believe the chemistry between these people.
Oh, they love it. They love each other. Like, it's so clear.
I'm trying to think of another TV show I've watched before you do The Boys. What the fuck have I watched this year? You know, it's like,
what have I watched?
What have I done this year? Where the fuck's it gone? It's mostly been indoors. Because it's mainly been...
Grand Tour Special. That's what we talked about last time.
Yeah, it was good. That was probably my favourite Grand Tour episode because it felt the most like peak Top Gear. I feel like I said to you, they're two, like, if you look at Top Gear now and Grand Tour, they're both half a good show each. The advantage obviously goes to the Grand Tour because you've got Clarkson, Hammond and May. But if you gave the other show the bits that they need from the other one, then you'd be like, well, this is fucking perfect, because they're not obviously, they're restricted with what they were doing in the studio, which is why they just went freelance and specials. Whereas if they had none of the restrictions and everything they had on Top Gear in like the Grand Tour studio setting, then it would be perfect. The same as if you had the relationship, the banter, and the sort of, not the over scriptiness, but like the moments that they thought like they put in, because it makes you connect more with them, and also people that are generally just like, they fucking 100% behind the show. Like with Amazon, they just put money into it because they know that people love it, and they love it because it makes them money. But yeah, I definitely did enjoy it. I enjoyed it more than Seaman, the last one. I'll be interested to see what they do in the next one. Like I've said to you, replay value is probably low when it's just specials if you're then just binging them. But production gaps hopefully will keep it from starving itself out for a while.
Yeah.
But they have to sort of end, because it will have to end. Because the original contract with it ended after season 3. So I hope that they have planned for a point where when they reach it, to not go past it and not overstay its welcome, to leave everyone like us wanting more. That's all I want from it, because we've grown up with these guys, really, haven't we?
Yeah.
And
100%.
Their banter is legendary.
They're just free top mates. Just have it go off.
I started buying classic Top Gear on Amazon Prime. Like, I bought Series 12 just because I wanted to see the one where they do from Switzerland to fucking Blackpool on one tank. I
forgot about that.
That's got some good episodes in it that season. I think you've got the second American road trip where they do where Hammond has to buy the Challenger and they do it on the salt flats. You've got the caravan one. I think you've got the racing when he races the sun from the westerly point to the most easterly point.
Yeah.
Got some good shit in them ones. I want to get some more, probably after Christmas maybe. I want to get all the good ones in. But I found out Vietnam one has been the soundtrack's been changed on it on all streaming ones. So I want to buy the DVD, see if it's different because obviously when they have the American backup bike, the song "Born in the USA" plays. But obviously, I'm guessing because of the rights you would need to have that streaming, the amount of money that would probably cost to have that song, it's just got the Star Spangled Banner instead, like edited over as that playing in the speakers.
That's because I watched that on Netflix recently, and I thought it still was the original music.
No, not on that. And because I bought it on Amazon, I thought, well, maybe it's on that one. So I'd love to know anyone that has the DVD or try and get hold of the Complete Specials thing. Or maybe, because it might be different from, like, it might only be on the original release of that, because it's in the Series 12 DVD. So maybe if it's on that, it might just be the original version and the repackaged Complete Specials one maybe different. I don't know, but I'm assuming it's just for paying for that song, which is little boring fact on this boring fucking life that we have. Is there anything you've rewatched this year that you thought that you've either changed your mind about or has just stayed the same?
I mean, I rewatched Misfits and Black Sails this year.
Yeah.
That's why I brought it up earlier. Misfits, series 1, 2, and 3, still peak, still brilliant, still great.
I think that the Christmas special is where it is.
Yeah.
That's when you're like, yes.
This is it. This
is what this show is.
It just always leaves me with a little bit of a sour taste. Though it continued, and it sort of just went to shit. Kind of like Game of Thrones, where 7 and 8 just went to utter shit. Black Sails is still so good for something that started in 2014. Which I know isn't overly long ago, but I mean, it always looked beautiful. It just looked magnificent by the time it ended. And it's just a great show. I don't think people either talk about it enough or enough people watched it.
Enough praise for what it is.
Yeah, but it's fucking brilliant. I love it.
What more could you say on that? You love it?
I also do like pirates a lot, so you
drink a lot of rum, so that's probably where that is. Do you want to wrap it up with the boys? Apologies for this being they've been shorter throughout lockdown, but because we are in the midst of Christmas week, we are trying to squeeze our re-records in, and just so we get something out, so people don't fucking forget us. So you hit us with the boys before we dash out?
I mean, it's a show on Amazon Prime. There we go. I've said. Done. Right. See you next year, George.
Bye. Carl Urban. Tony Stark. Not Stark.
Stark.
Yeah. And more people whose names escape me at present. Superheroes, but dark. Take the piss. It's hard to sort of define what the boys is. Like when people are like, what's it about? It's like, well, it's kind of like superheroes but knobheads.
It's kind of like a parody of the superhero genre, but it's kind of more just asking the question of what would they be like if they were actually real? Like, what would the world be like if they were actually real?
It is sort of like a pastiche of like, if you had to deal with these things, like they would be like the celebrity level people that you'd see on the street.
Yeah. And you got to always worry about the image, but then they also have way too much power to the point where they don't actually give two shits about the world.
Yeah.
But, I mean, like, The Boys is just a fantastic show. Like, as I've said before, every episode gets better, and it was already fantastic to begin with in that first episode.
Mm.
You had a whole nother season. Like, just the chemistry of everyone in that show, quite like the Umbrella Academy, you could feel that they are all genuine mates. They all get along quite well.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also just, it is hard to describe without like watching it, you know. But it is absolutely brilliant. Season 2, fantastic. The finale was brilliant. I've had some people complain about, you know, Butcher's wife, just like the escape was a bit rushed, but then I can see the argument to that, but do you really care that much in the grand scheme of the show?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. I know. I know what you're saying. I'm not as like this show has sort of like grabbed you the way Mandalorian's grabbed me. Like I want to sort of sit down and rewatch all of the boys because I've it's one of them shows that I watch, but I'm not, you know, eyes wide open taking in everything on it. Like all I'm seeing is like the amazing stories, the fantastic acting, but I'm not getting all the little bits that you're just like when you see this in this bit or like that and that bit because it's it's well made. It's a lot of fun and it's also got a lot to say about I think media and that in general, like because of your super like sort of preconceived notions of superheroes and it just knocks them down really, doesn't it? It's like
Yeah,
this is
100%.
what you think that they would come in and like be sort of like all American like goody two shoes, but it's like if you had to sort of deal with that level of fame and notoriety, you get pissed off.
Yeah.
And none like I think Tony Starr really fucking delivers on that thing of being like, well, he's only a douche because this is how sort of you get when you're constantly in the limelight 24/7. You know what I mean?
100%.
But it is fucking well made, and I think just like with Umbrella Academy, the cast that they've assembled together, just they work as you know, tired celebrity superheroes that don't. Not all of them want to be this kind of thing. If you get me, that it's just because they are that, and then they sort of like feel maybe obliged to be superheroes.
Or as A-Train said, like you don't fuck with the money, so they just do it for
Just
the money.
for the paycheck.
Like that's their job at the end of the day. So it's like they kind of have to do it. But I mean, it's also got a kick-ass soundtrack. Like,
oh yeah, very in the vein of like Guardians or something like that. That kind of soundtrack where everything just fits and just like this is fucking cool.
And they do have a fucking shit ton of songs. A lot of Billy Joel. And that's
because of course you would.
I mean, that's good in my books, to be honest.
There's worse things to listen to. But yeah, that's sort of it's a bit of a weird one this because it's hard to not only to remember anyway in a normal year, but because there's been so much stuff that we've focused on, like there's been episodes like that we stray a bit from the point because it's hard to sort of we're trying to G ourselves up and you lot up because we know it's a shit time. We're trying to be as funny, like sometimes you know I don't fucking know. But like, there's just so much stuff that when there is something good, it's sort of like there's only really been one main thing that like we've sort of watched each. If you get it,
Yeah.
like, whereas there's not been a thing of like, oh, I'm gonna sit down and rewatch these because this is coming out, or like this, and this because the new season starts, or I'm gonna play this game, or like read this. But like it's shit's still been coming out, but not in the way that we wanted, and like we haven't been able to maybe be as on the ball as some other channels that do this kind of stuff of sort of like, right, we're going to pre-record stuff, but even that, it's like we've still got to find the time whilst working to re-watch or redo or like fucking re-educate ourselves about stuff if we were going to do like retrospectives, like the Bond one was a bit of a fucking fluky thing. I don't know why people watch that one, but thank you. So we just like to say that after this year, all your support's been phenomenal. Still, that people, for some reason, listen to this, and the help that we've given each other by jumping in and out of making sure we get this stuff done, just so we stay regular. Like you, Matt, today, like that's appreciated. Connor as well. We've all had to learn how to sort of adapt to survive on this shit. So hopefully, when we meet up in person, we can go full ham like we normally do on these kind of things and be a bit. I feel like if we're all in the same room, we'd sort of pick each other up a bit more. You know what I mean?
It would also help, you know, like the year weren't just a shit show and like, stuff came out like it normally would have. So you would also have a lot more to talk about and a lot more to get excited about. Like my main thing is everyone needs to go watch The Boys from this year.
We'll do so. How like what about if we start of next year? We have an in-depth thing about The Boys. We can hopefully get some audience involved, get some questions, or maybe get some people to phone in and have a thing about that. Maybe we adapt a bit more, try and make it a bit more fun for everyone, because I know that it might just seem like we're pulling stuff out of our arse, but that is 90% of this channel.
Rank up the games.
But as always, it's a pleasure to be in your ear hole. So thank you very much for listening and watching, if you have the time to, this episode of No Bold Podcast. And thank you for Matt for joining me emergency-wise, last minute. I hope everyone had a very Merry Christmas and have a Happy New Year. And we'll see you in 2021 next week. Haha! Next year. And if you want to email in, you can do so nobodycontact@gmail.com. And Matt, if they want to follow us on social media, where and what handle will they have to use?
Carl Urban is absolutely amazing.com.
Carl Urban is hopefully going to adopt Matt because he wants to go and live in New Zealand and just be fucking badass with a fucking great beard. I don't know.
That'd be nice, you know. There's also no COVID in New Zealand.
I'm surprised you haven't gone there because you could.
It's a win-win.
COVID-free life and maybe meet Carl Urban.
Huh?
Get him to make another Dread movie. But yeah, at Pasty Sheep across everything. Thank you, everybody. I will see you soon in the next one. Goodbye.
Bye.
Stay pasty.
Alright, Connor.